is lick of the day 51. So we're moving on here. We're going to play a blues with the quick change. Okay? Now look at that. See that quick change there? Look at bar 2. Bar 2, the 4 chord's going to pop up. This is very common in a lot of blues, especially the slower tempo blues. You're always going to get that quick change. Well, not always, but 99% of the time. Okay, so when you're going to play a solo, you have to be aware if you have that quick change or not. So I'm going to teach like a real traditional way of playing and getting that quick change, but also I'm going to show you in a not so traditional way of doing that. Okay, so look, here's a super traditional blues lick that everybody should know. And remember, you got a quick change, so it's going to go. Okay, so watch. Look at that little shape there. That's the 7th of the G chord, and that's the 3rd. So we like to go like this. Now for the C chord, if you move it down a half step, you get the opposite, the 3rd and the flat 7. So I'm gonna get my pick here. So you can play it different ways. A lot of guys will go like this. Or you can break it up. And so this is like, you have to have this in your arsenal. You just have to have it. This is like good down home, old school, traditional blues lick that you need to be able to do. But see, remember, flat 7, 3rd of that 1 chord, 3rd and flat 7 of the 4 chord. But if you go up here, you do it the opposite, the 3rd of G and the flat 7th of G. It's the opposite, but you play it here. And if you move it down a half step, then you got the opposite thing for the C chord now. You got the flat 7 and the 3rd. So these are like 2 great tricks to be able to get, the most important 2 notes is the 3rd and the flat 7. When I was learning music, all my teachers said, you got to pay attention to the 3rd and the flat 7. That's where you want to focus. And I ignored that advice. And then after a million years, I started to pay attention to that. And it really changes the way you play. So take my advice. Practice a lot of just 3rds and 7ths of chords. And it really outlines the chord. Because if you think about it, the 3rd and the 7th is what makes the chord what it is, right? The roots, there's no difference between a root and a minor chord or a major chord or a dominant chord, right? It's the 3rd and the 7th. And the 5th doesn't change in any of those chords either. So the 3rds and the 7ths are always going to outline the harmony of those chords. So you want to pay attention to those. Now, getting on to that's the traditional way. But what I do sometimes, and in this demo, I do it way too much. I don't want you guys to think that I played like the same lick like 7,000 times like I do in these demos, because I'm doing a demonstration, so I don't want to, I just want to make sure that you're hearing the lick that I'm trying to teach you. But I use these things sparingly in real life, obviously. So anyways, remember, we played it like this. Sometimes I'll bend down from a half step underneath that first note. And the same thing up here. So you remember we played it like this. So I'm going to go like this. So watch how I do it in the demo, and try it yourself. But the important part is that you really bend the note to the perfect pitch. You don't want to be sharp or flat. You don't want to be messing around. You got to show who's the boss. Is the guitar the boss, or are you the boss? You're the boss. So you make sure that when you bend, you're bending to the right notes, regardless of what the guitar is, is telling you to do. So it's a good practice thing, and sparingly, these things are very effective and interesting. And so give it a shot. All these things are in the PDF, by the way. So if you want that PDF, you go on and get it. My lessons on Patreon are $1 a piece. It's like a bargain. So, and your help support me in my endeavor of spreading good old American music around the world and making it accessible to people regardless of where they are or how much money they have. So it's all, you're playing a part in sort of the, my efforts there, okay? So enjoy the demo. Tell me what you think. Goodbye.